Can you beat Minecraft without breaking any of the rules of communism? But wait, what are the rules? In 1848, Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels wrote the Communist Manifesto, a book outlining the principles of a communist society. The Communist Manifesto, at its core, features 10 main points which fit perfectly with Minecraft. The first rule I'll have to follow comes from Marx, who calls for the abolition of private property. That means I can't own any land, I can't use private chests, and if I build a base, I have to share it. This isn't Minecraft. This is our craft. And that's only the first of many, many rules to come. So can you beat Minecraft as a true communist? Alright, let's start the run. Communist any %. I'll grab some wood real quick. Now, you're probably wondering why I just crafted 10 wooden pickaxes. That wasn't a mistake. As a communist, I must call my fellow comrades to work. But these pigs aren't exactly comrades, so I'll have to find a village. Bingo! Before I can continue with this run, I need to, rescue this village. Who wants to be a communist? Wait, to make the village communist, we have to follow 3 steps. First, destroy the rich. Marx says that the immediate aim of the communist is the overthrow of the bourgeois supremacy. That means anyone who takes advantage of the labor of others without doing any work themselves. That was pretty easy. Next, we'll have to abolish all private property. For this run, I'm classifying all fenced-in land that's attached to a building as private property, like this animal pen. That private wheat farm, that's gotta go. And that private chest, no. I'll be confiscating these goods for the motherland. The reason we have to get rid of private property is that it gives individuals too much control over resources and an unfair advantage over their comrades. The third step we have to follow is equal liability of all to work. That means no unemployed villagers. Everyone must work. So I went around the village and made sure that everyone had a workstation. Bro, we don't need 3 leather workers. Go be a farmer. And you can be a farmer. And for this guy, farmer. Next, I went to trade with villagers for some food.
Hold up.
Villager trading is one of the most overpowered ways of getting resources in the game. But unfortunately, the villagers set their own prices. That kind of sounds like capitalism. The Communist Manifesto calls for the centralization of credit in the hands of the state to prevent this kind of exploitation. So for this run, we'll say that I'm not allowed to do any villager trading. Oh, come on. I guess the iron golems don't like the new reforms. Okay, I have to get rid of this iron right now or the run is over. I'll explain why in a minute. For now, I'll have to work for my food by harvesting communal farms and then sharing the extra food with my comrades. So how come I wasn't able to keep that iron? And for that matter, why am I still using wooden tools? In Minecraft, the biggest source of class distinction is the level of gear you have. Remember, communists hate class distinction. Anyone with higher tier tools can mine faster, can mine more ores, and can get richer than everyone else. That makes them the bourgeoisie! So if no one else can have fancy gear, then I can't either. That's why I spent a stack of cobblestone making stone pickaxes for all my villagers. Even though they don't use them. Now that I'm allowed to use stone tools, I think I'll make the first build of the run. Notice how the villagers all live in separate houses. Shouldn't they share a house? It's beautiful. I walked in on my comrades seizing the means of reproduction. But that's okay, because we need to grow our population. The communal house was built with the latest in communist architecture. It features 15 luxurious bedrooms, and there's even a staircase to get between floors. The village was looking pretty communist at this point, but there was one thing that kept it from being perfect. One blemish on my spotless record. This building. Listen to this quote. Communism is the stage of historical development which makes all existing religions superfluous and brings about their disappearance. Essentially, communists don't like religion. This Minecraft structure is officially called the Temple, and it's inhabited by a cleric. No doubt it's a religious building. There's only one way to fix that, I think. Time to go mining. Uh-oh. Now would be a great time to introduce the next rule. Marx and Engels wanted the abolition of all rights of inheritance. But what does that have to do with Minecraft? Well, when you die, you can just come back and pick up your things, essentially inheriting from your past life. But not me. If I die, I have to restart the entire run. Oh no. Remember, we can't keep any of this iron yet. We're just collecting it for the commune. In order to level up to iron tools, just like with stone, I'll need to craft a set of pickaxes for the entire village. But that's not all. Iron armor makes the difference between a poor player and a rich player. That's right, to truly level up, I'll have to craft a set of iron armor for all of my villagers. At my current population of 7, that means I'll need 168 iron. Oh boy. I spent the next day building a large collective farm to expand our agricultural output, just like the Communist Manifesto calls for. Uh-oh. It says here that the Communist Manifesto bans child labor. Whoops. At this point I realized I was going to need a lot more iron. Luckily, the next rule from the Communist Manifesto actually helps us. It calls for the extension of factories and instruments of production owned by the state. In short, it was time to industrialize. It works! Since I still can't officially use this iron yet, I'll hold off on crafting the hoppers. But he already crafted a bucket! Isn't that cheating? That's a very good question. I think because the bucket was absolutely necessary to build the farm, and because I've only used it for the good of my commune, it should be okay. What? What is this guy? You're actually trying to sell me sand? Capitalist. While I was AFKing, the village population grew to 8. But we should have enough iron now. Man, I really just did that. And the armor. I bet you didn't think villagers could wear armor. But guess again, using a dispenser I can equip my comrades with iron gear. And now we can use iron too. The cornerstone of a communist society is a democratically elected leader with checked power, so I set up a fair ballot for my villagers. Alright, I want to grab a few diamonds before I go to the nether. Sweet. And now I have to do one of the saddest things I've ever done in Minecraft. See, Karl Marx believed in a heavy progressive or graduated income tax. That basically means that the richer I become, the more taxes I have to pay. I didn't have to worry about this rule before because I was dirt broke. But now that I've gotten wealthier, I'll have to start paying taxes. For this run, we'll say that at the end of every Minecraft day, I have to give up half of my income. So if I only find 2 diamonds, no big deal. I can just throw one away. But if I get lucky and find 10 diamonds, I have to get rid of 5 of them. Alright, looks like we got 10 diamonds, and it's a new day, so time to pay taxes. Oh, that hurt. Anyway, now I can go look for a lava pool. Yes! These will come in handy later. No way, another village. I wonder what the manifesto says about other nations. In the national struggles of the proletarians of the different countries, they point out and bring to the front the common interests of the entire proletariat, independently of all nationality. That means it's up to us to help our comrades overthrow the bourgeoisie. We've done a good deed today. Okay, that fire wasn't me. There must be a lava pool here. And then I had a shocking realization. Do you remember one of the first rules of the run? I'll read it again. The immediate aim of the communists is the overthrow of the bourgeois supremacy. In Minecraft, the bourgeoisie is unambiguously me. I control the resources, I decide who gets protection, and I decide how we progress through the game. My villagers have no agency. To them, I'm like a dictator. So, we have a new rule. To progress through the world, I can't act alone. I need the entire group to go with me. I'm going to have to make the nether portal a lot wider for this. Oh yeah. Okay, now we need all the villagers to go through before me. Dude, this is actually so annoying. I know I said the villagers have to be willing to go through, but you know, I'm a communist dictator. I can make them willing. I decided that the best way to keep them with me was to use boats and leads, and we accidentally picked up another comrade. And now we bridge. Oh man, it just takes one gas to ruin this run. Got him. Alright boys, stay close. No! But wait, blaze rods also count as taxable income, so I'll actually need to grab 12 to have enough blaze powder. I just realized that when the golems kill blazes, they don't drop any rods. So I was kind of a moron for doing this. Bro, this has got to be the weirdest speedrun ever. Time to pay taxes! My villager population has fallen by 75%, and we're currently experiencing a mass famine. So as far as communism goes, I think this is pretty accurate. Now to get pearls. Unfortunately, I had the village cleric killed, so we can't trade for ender pearls. Not that we were doing that anyway. We also can't barter with piglins, since that would be a market that isn't controlled by the state. That left only one option. Hunting endermen. Fortunately, I still had a few golems to spare. Can't forget to pay taxes. So, the first day I got 2 pearls, which means I have to give up 1. And the next day I farmed 22, so I have to throw out 11. Did I count that right? I don't think I counted that right. Oh hey, that's lucky. And then, it was time to take my commune to the end. That meant everyone, even the villagers in the iron farm. When Karl Marx called for the centralization of the means of communication and transport in the hands of the state, I don't think this is what he had in mind. Yes, we're finally here. When I found the portal room, I gave one last motivational speech to rally the troops. Comrades! Karl Marx once said that the proletarians have nothing to lose but their chains. They have a world to win. And we have a game to win. To battle, comrades! Stupid. Oh, whoops. Well, I guess we left some men behind. As I entered the end, I remembered all the building, all the resource gathering, all the sharing we had to do to get this far. All the stupid communist rules I had to follow. Well, here's one more. Just to seal the deal, I can't be the only one to deal damage to the dragon. We have to beat it together. I almost forgot the last rule. I can't be the only one to deal damage in this fight. But iron golems can't attack the ender dragon, and villagers can't attack at all. I have an idea. Let's go! I beat the game as a perfect communist. I mean, we beat the game. Haha. Wait, the dragon egg. How are we supposed to share the dragon egg? No!